Greetings once again, people, and welcome to yet another episode of Seeking Shamblers. So this time around, we're checking out a level that actually we saw in Aftershock to begin with. Basically, it's a level known as Are You Ready to Rumble? Yep, it's finally time to check out that one and see what exactly it looks like here. Now, the interesting thing about this particular level is that I'm not seeing the version that we saw in Aftershock, if I'm correct. The file name for this one is called Rumble 2. I'm assuming this is like some revised version of it. And the one we saw there was actually called Obelisk for some reason. I do not have Obelisk as a file. I don't know where Obelisk is. I don't know if there is Obelisk as a standalone somewhere. I mean, it had to exist at some point that Aftershock was able to convert it, but I do not have it at the moment. So, this is basically the closest we have, and this is the one we're going to mess around with for the time being, until we find actually the one that we're talking about there. And in any event, this is a conversion of something. We'll be able to see what the difference between the two are. Anyway, this is known as Rumble, specifically to be exact, Rumble 2. And this is made by Dennis S. Dollins, who we have never heard of before, because we seem to be getting a bunch of new level designers for some reason. Anyway, this is a deathmatch level, obviously. Anyway, additional credits to his soon-to-be wife, Karen, for allowing him the time to learn the various editors and create the level, and providing the picture for the level. What picture? I don't even have a picture. I think she failed in her job, everyone. Anyway, the people who also spent their time creating the editors, especially, such as BSP and its author Jan Bernier. That's the main one he used here, I'm assuming, is BSP. But he also used Kuma and Quest. But he also, on top of all that, used Notepad and WordPad. As said, this is basically Rumble 2. And yeah, basically you can do up to 1 to 16 players. He doesn't really say like a specific amount to really be playing deathmatch here. He recommends a bot program if there's less than 4 players. Because he thinks that there definitely should at least be 4 players in this one. Difficulty settings? No. In the deathmatch level? Anyway, other than that, that's really very, very simple. There is a gray effect from not having had a full viz on it. He stopped it after 18 hours. It was taking apparently too long to viz, so he just stopped it. In any event, there's also a startup error of a non-working light. No class underscore name if you want to know. It doesn't really affect play at all. So, anyway, this level was inspired by those ridiculous pro wrestling shows. There are 2 raised platforms in the center, each with 4 starting locations. Yeah, I definitely recognize that's definitely the level, but at the same time, I did not think at all it was a wrestling arena thing. Yeah, I didn't see that at all, but okay. It is apparently based on wrestling somehow. The center of each is cut out, but is provided will lift back up. Due to typical bureaucratic handling, the matter transmitters that send the players into the arena have been very badly maintained. They've been known to send people into the cheap seating along the outer edge, the VIP balcony seats, the catwalks, even into midair, dropping players to their deaths below. Because of massive influx of blood and jibs into the waters that lay beneath the entire complex, 2 large drain pipes have been installed, which suck the water up to be cleaned. Players have been known to ride the currents up these and use the top of them to blaze down upon both viewers and participants below. There have also been reports of rifts in the space-time, etc., alongside the fighting platforms, but these are yet to be confirmed. Okay, that sounds interesting. All the weapons are available, but they're in very short supply. He particularly doesn't like rocket vests, but if you do, then by all means put them in. He just happened to like shotgun battles. The power-ups have been incorporated, 2 in easily found hidden spots. The quad damage, the third one, is a little better hid. Echo sounders seem to have detected an anomaly in one of the posts supporting the platforms. Yes, that's kind of fancy, isn't it? So, other than that, the girl behind the steel vault door is of course his fiancée. What better place for such a treasure than behind 16 inches of solid steel? I'm assuming this means there's some custom textures here in this one. That'd be definitely intriguing. Anyway, this level can be jittery on a low-end Pentium, and that's simply because of its wide open spaces. Nothing to do but upgrade, he's afraid. If you have the patience, you can try to run the full vis on it, but as you said above, he got tired of waiting after 18 hours and killed it. Knowing what he does about the way such things work, you can't imagine it helping much. The vast majority of the points in this level can see each other. So, he usually runs Deathmatch with Altered Quake C, although this level is eminently playable straight. He's implemented fallen damage, and 2 of the starting points will and do lead to death upon striking the ground. It's a very funny sight to see a player hurtling past you and jib on the ground below. Very nice. He also limits grenades to a max of 10, although the scarcity of them in this level is not that big of a problem. He also generally has computer bots playing alongside the people. Most of the code stolen from the various bots that you can find at cd-rom.com, basically. So yeah. He basically expressly forbids its inclusion in any compilation collections that are to be made available in the retail market, or for which a fee other than a nominal media cost is charged. Trade it to your heart's content, but if it shows up on 1,000 new levels for Quake, only $19.95, then he's gonna be angry. Well, guess what, buddy? You kinda have to be angry, because guess where I found this? If you use this as a base for a level of your own design, they politely request that you grant him some kind of credit in your own author text. Anyway, that's basically you get it wherever good levels hang out. Anyway, his name is Dennis Dollins, he's over 30, and he's been playing games all his life. Whether on the C64, C128, Amiga 500, Amiga 2000, IBM PC, pencil and paper, and although it breaks no real ground, Quake is the closest thing to real-world creation so far. So yeah, basically we're going to be entering some wrestling arena, apparently. This is going to be definitely interesting. I don't know how in God's name this is considered a wrestling arena, but yeah. But yeah, basically there's a lot of weird things and whatnot. Like I said, I'm curious about what exactly the Rumble 2 is about versus the Obelisk. If this is the same level or what's going on. It sounds like it has custom textures almost. So Rumble 2. Let's see what exactly we're in for, shall we? We have some errors. And here we are in Are You Ready to Rumble? Definitely looks familiar to me. I'm not really sure if there are any differences. I'm going to have to like really go through it and like probably look at all the details. But yeah, at the moment it looks relatively similar. It looks like basically what I've seen in that Obelisk.bsp. Then again, maybe they're both just like the same thing but different names or whatnot. Who knows? Anyway, you have your guns here. You have a gun here. A gun there. Everywhere a gun. Everywhere a gun. Okay, you have some armor. You have random stuff. Seeing these are basically the platforms where you do some wrestling. Here's some lights to fancy up the atmosphere and all that. Weird sound glitch there. Yeah, I think DOSBots actually has some weird sound glitches going on. They like pop sometimes. Definitely a bit odd. I'm not really sure what goes on there. It's definitely not something I noticed when it came to like DOM. But it's something I notice occasionally with DOSBots. Not really a big issue, but it's definitely there. For some reason. Anyway, we do have some ammo here. Nothing really fancy. Oh look, a nail gun. I didn't even see that. It was totally dark. Yeah, gotta love darkness. Okay, we have a little platform here. I want to stand in the middle of the ring and do something. Okay, so as you see, DSD. Who's DSD? Is that his name? God, I forget the author's name now. Let's see here, actually. Hey boy. Who's the author? Dennis S. Dollins. Yep, that's it. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense why he calls it DSD, at least. So yeah, now it makes even more sense that this is definitely DSD. But yeah, so far, I'm not really sure. We was talking about the girl behind the steel door and all that. That really doesn't make much sense based on what I'm kind of seeing here. It's a very basic Quake level, people. I don't kind of get all that. But yeah, like I said, I really have to figure out what the differences are between Rumble and this one, if there is any at all. Well, under here is a little pentagram protection hidden in this little corner. You have a lot of random garbage strewn about in the waters. Definitely would be a pain to document it all up. Mainly, it's just going to be a pain find out where... Oh, God, I'm in a wind tunnel. The scary part is these wind tunnels love to make you get stuck. So I'm going to stay right in the middle. Yeah, see, this is the problem. You get stuck in the wind tunnel, and then you can't really get out of the wind tunnel unless you have a rocket launcher, which I do not have. So, yeah, I have to redo it. Kinda stinks, doesn't it? Yeah. The wind tunnels are really the annoyance of this particular level. I remember that well, and I still managed to get tripped up in that thing. Yeah, see, those are the two wind tunnels back there. Okay, so we want to just, like, run around because I want to get a lot of random goodies here without hitting the wind tunnels. Now, there also is, a thunderbolt somewhere. When we're saying a thunderbolt, there's a quad damage somewhere in here. If I'm right. One of these pillars has, like, a quad damage or something. Let's see. I think these two have the two items. You can see a ring of shadows and a pentagram protection. But there's also a quad damage, and I believe it's in one of these pillars. Forget which one or where it is or what's going on, but there it is. See, what do you say? Also, if you get close enough to these, it lowers so we can conveniently get back up. Same thing with this one, I'm assuming. Yep, there we are. Okay, so we got our little power-ups. That's all the power-ups in this level. Now the main thing is just getting the guns. I think the quad damage is on the rafters, which are way up there. Which, to get up there, you need to do something. Let's see, let's first get up here, so we're actually on, the upper floors. We get to collect these random goodies that are up here. Oh, look at that! You can actually see her picture there. Yeah, you can see her picture for like a second. Set is definitely a custom texture, and something I didn't see in the Aftershock version. Maybe that's the big feature of this one. But yeah, it's like the Viscent stuff means that you can see that, but normally it's supposed to be hidden behind that steel wall. It's a little feature that normally you would never see, but is definitely existent. I'm going to have to check the original version, see if that actually exists in the original. Behind a steel wall, his wife existed or something. Quite an interesting place to guard her. But it definitely makes sense if you want to protect someone. Put behind 16 feet of steel or something. Let's see here. Now, how does one get into the rafters again? It's been a bit, and I know I don't want to use the wind tunnels. The wind tunnels are bad. So I'm trying to remember how one gets up there. Is it you shoot the sign, maybe? No. And I know it's not using the wind tunnels. Wait, there's a teleporter somewhere around here. If you notice, you hear like a teleporter sound. I think you want to get like somewhere around here, and then you like jump towards this. You jump towards something. It's like an invisible teleporter, if I'm right. Yeah, I'm recalling now. It's like this invisible teleporter or something, where you like drop in a certain area. Wait, no, it's down here. I see, yeah, it's underneath the rafters of each one. And so you get up here, which as you see is the rafter area I was trying to get to. So as you see, nothing really up here. It's kind of a pointless little area. But, you know, it is the rafters. It does have a very strategic advantage. Being able to shoot everyone from down below and all that. You do also have the grenade launcher here, which is very convenient for causing death and all that. God, do I feel wobbly up here. I feel nervous. I'm gonna fall off and hurt myself, ain't I? Yes, this is exactly how workplace accidents happen. So, biggest safety in the world, I need to get to that rocket launcher, which is right down there. So I just want to drop down here. Owie! As you see, I get up onto this little rafter thing here. I get some armor, get some real goodies. I think if you go on this side, you go into this teleporter, and this leads right to this. As you see, which we don't really care about. We want to, like, get around. I could use the wind tunnels, but you see what happens. You get stuck. Plus, you also get to a thunderbolt here, which otherwise you can't get to. Only way you can get to it is from the rafters. So, there we are. Got all the guns except the super nail gun, which I believe is behind that DSD sign. Actually, you know what? Let's go up the wind tunnel. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to pull a, rocket jump out of it. Let's hope. Oh, that time I actually got lucky and got out of there before I got stuck. Yeah, it's a rather annoying mechanic if you notice. Anyway, here's the super nail gun. Here's the second wind tunnel. Doesn't really matter. I probably don't want to get stuck in there. Other than that, there's really not much of anything. We kind of did everything, people. So, with that in mind, like I said, there's also, that, but it seems like there's no way to, like, do anything with it. I almost forgot about the steel wall where he hit his girlfriend. Oh, you shoot it! And this basically just slides apart, and there she is. Little detail, little secret, convenient. Would be nice if you actually got something out of it, but, well, at least you do get the ability to, see his wife. Not really sure how that benefits anyone, but that's beside the point. It's another little custom thing, I guess, for the author of the level to have something more, a little bit personal to this one. Just like the whole giant DSD right there. Anyway, that's really Are You Ready to Rumble? Like I said, I really have to look into what exactly the difference between the two versions are. I'm assuming it's the steel vault with his girlfriend behind it. I do not remember that in the original version. Other than that, I'm not really sure there are any differences, though. I don't recall anything that stood out to me as missing or really different. So, with that in mind, people, thank you all for watching. It has been an adventure, and I shall see you all, therefore, next time.